Good evening, everyone. This is Welcome to the Other Side with Diane tonight, of course, and every Thursday at 8. I'm going to have Abby here with me. We're going to have our poetry hour, which you're part of right now. Of course, as you'll find out, this used to be an old channel of mine. I really had nothing posted on it. I really don't have anything on it now, but I revamped it, changed the name on it to more personalize it and to use it for when I'm on by myself and for every Thursday when Abby and I are on. Hi there, Linda.
I want white chocolate too, or dark chocolate.
Hi, she didn't send any our way. She's going to send Gabriella Vegemite. She needs to send me some white freaking chocolate.
Vegemite?
Yeah, we're going to do that on one of our shows.
But good luck with that.
Before we start, good old Pennsylvania here at this time of the night, which is actually pretty decent after having sub-zero temperatures last week. We're at a balmy 39 degrees, and even with the wind chill factor, it feels like 38 degrees. So for us, that's a big heat wave up here north.
Hopefully it melts the ice.
Yeah, hopefully, because we got ice like that thick on our sidewalk out
there. All right,
there.
that's good.
That we're still trying to. Okay, thank you, Eric. That we're still trying to see if it's going to melt or not. Before we get into, or we're going to wait to see who all shows up. Doesn't really matter because if not too many people show up, they can catch it on the replay. I mean, it does matter. I want everybody to show up. I want them to like, subscribe, because that shows me that you're appreciating what I'm doing, what me and Abby's doing every Thursday. We want to try to make it fun. We want to make it exciting. So get your cup of coffee, get your popcorn, your snacks. Linda got her chocolates.
Hello, Linda.
Get your drinks, whatever you want. Join in at any time. We'll have we might even do it tonight, depending on how many people show up. We'll have interactive where I'll do a line of a poem. Abby will throw her line in, and the chat people can throw a line in, and we can see what kind of a goofy poem we can create. So it'll be a whole interactive. I don't know, Abby, are you going to do one of those polls every week? Or, okay, she just wanted, so Abby had a poll up and she was asking people what kind of poems that she wanted us to start out with for our first show. And love poems came out. So we will be doing.
Which is awesome because it's almost Valentine's Day, so it kind of fits.
So Abby and I both write poetry. If we don't want to say all of our own poetry in one day, so again, it depends on who shows up in the audience. We can pull some good poems up off the internet and credit wherever we found them. Updating on everybody. I was supposed to have a show out on Aleister Crowley. I was going to do it yesterday, but I didn't have a good day yesterday. 5 o'clock, 5:30, somewhere around that time in the morning, I rolled over in bed and my heart was racing really, 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 really fast. Kind of scared me a bit, but I read somewhere if you feel like almost like you're going to have a stroke or heart attack, make yourself cough real hard and then breathe in and out real slowly. And I did exactly that. And lo and behold, I did get that rate to go back down to normal. And the good thing is I didn't panic. It scared me, yes, but I didn't panic over it. So regardless, when I got up and came downstairs, I just was feeling real off. And then, of course, anybody that knows is we have 2 big dogs. I mean, they're puppies, but they're big. And first thing in the morning, we take them out to do their business outside. And with them pulling and tugging on me, and they're puppies. They're mischievous. They're hyper. And so it takes a lot, and it kind of wore me down. So I kind of didn't have a good day yesterday. Migraine headache probably half of the day, and it did calm down to just one of those.
We haven't.
Anyone managed to get it? Oh, come on now.
She's stubborn.
Come on, Linda. I was talking to Angelina, and Angelina said, Diane, you should go get that checked. And I'm there, yeah, right. I mean, I do love all of you guys for being concerned in that, but I'm so bullheaded, and to the people that don't really know me well, The only hospital visits I've ever had was the birth of my children. The only doctor's appointments I had was when I was going for my checkups to give birth to my children to make sure I was okay during my pregnancy. And then I had a car accident. I had to go in and get x-rays and everything. Thank goodness I didn't get hurt seriously, but I don't go to the doctors. I'm one of those that if I can fix that at home and I feel better that day, I'm going to fix it at home. Now, mind you, though, if I get to the point where I'm really, really, really bad, I will say, hey,
We're
guys,
dragging her ass.
Well, I will say, okay, I don't want to go, but I better go. I mean, I'm not that I ignorant maybe of not wanting to go, or I don't know what the proper word would be. I know enough that it gets to that point. Yeah, I'll get my ass to see the doctor, but I just don't feel like I've gotten to that point yet, because other than normal old age aches and pains, I'm relatively pretty healthy for my age. I'm not on any prescription meds. I don't take any drugs of any kind. I should take vitamins. I don't take vitamins. I'm just like that.
I'm not sure if you meant pig-headed or big-headed, but yeah, I think
big-headed would mean almost like I'm conceited.
No, it's like selfish. But I mean, when you're not going if you're really, really sick, then I guess that would be considered like, I'm trying to think of the word would be.
Bullheaded. Is that what you're thinking? Bullheaded? Bullheaded and pig-headed?
Yeah. I don't know if she meant big-headed or pig-headed, but that's funny.
Yeah.
That made me laugh.
I'm bullheaded, which is the same as I am. I know that. I can be an ass at times. Let's just put it that way. I mean, I know I should go and everything get checked out, but I don't. That's.
I think we all can be sometimes.
I don't know. I think the last time I did go to, I'm kind of lying, because when we were down in South Carolina, I was having a lot of pain in my one arm, not very good movement. My back was aching, and I broke down and I went to a chiropractor, and he did help me, but he climbs on top of me and he says, "You don't feel weird about this, but you'll know why I'm doing it." And he climbs on top of me to crack my back and stuff, and he reeked of cigarette smoke, and it was just weird. Like, if anybody's going to get on top of me, it's going to be my husband. I just don't. That was weird, but it did make me feel better, because he said my alignment was all knocked out, and it's probably knocked out again. By the way, I'm surprised hers isn't, because she took a pretty good fall down our steps yesterday and hurt her wrist. So I'm glad she was able to be here tonight, and that she's feeling a lot better, because it was a pretty hard fall, pretty similar to what Gabriella did when we found that mystery ectoplasm or ooze or whatever it was.
Yeah, this time the steps were just slippery for some reason, but it wasn't liquid or anything. It just really
that was the first thing I did. I went on there and checked to see if there was any of that substance on there, and there was nothing there. So thank goodness it wasn't that eerie.
But the thing that was weird too is I didn't even run down the stairs. I walked down the stairs, and how I fell is just beyond me, because there's no way that I missed that step. So I don't know.
Yeah. Now, when we read, okay, let's see, anyone managed to, okay, that was the question. Any questions we see it while we're taping, or any comments, we can pull them up and we'll try to answer. If you guys want to make a comment when we're doing our poetry or after we do it or anything, because this is poetry hour, so we're going to try to stretch it out for an hour. I think that's a safe time, and I just hope people join in and like this show, because if it doesn't go over, we'll think of something else. But I think this is a good forum for me and Abby, since me and Gabriella has one. And then, of course, I'll be solo. I'm hoping, guys, maybe tomorrow that I can get the Aleister Crowley one out. I got some good stuff on him. I don't know how long that show is. And since I'm not real tech savvy yet, I like to have the images and stuff in the background, so I'm going to have to play around with that to be able to pull them up. I see on thing where it says present, and I guess I just click on that and then go in the background, search what I want, pick up that image, show it. And can I do it where I show the image and I'm still like up on the corner of the screen, or do I? Because But I'll figure it out.
I'll show you.
Yeah, I'm not stupid. I mean, I'll figure it out. It's just that it might take a little bit of time. So
You see that here? Let me just show you this. You see that one right there
yeah.
with the little person?
Oh,
thing?
that's where.
That's what you'd click, and it would show the screen that you're showing, but then your
it'll show
picture
me.
will
Okay.
be right there.
Okay. So I might even sometime. Well, I mean, my goal is once I get comfortable with this format and being solo. My goal is if I do something documentary wise, I'd like to have some kind of a background and like to be able to do like a flip
Green
screen.
screen.
No, flip screen, like where I go to image, like turning a page of flips. Isn't that what it's called? Flip screen? Scroll. What is that?
Slideshow.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know why I'm calling flip screen.
I know it'd be nice if we got if we could have where our background here is like a really pretty fireplace or something.
Yeah. Well, that's my goal down there. That's my goal down. I have an art room in the house. We have a room when you first come in the back part of our house. It's cool because I have rainbow curtains up. Pee wee behave. I have rainbow curtains up. He's calling for his girlfriend. I have curtains up in the background and they're rainbow. And I'm going to have it set up where we have a table. We have our monitor there. If I can have a nice background screen for us when there. But it's an art studio. It's going to be a craft studio. And it's going to be our podcast studio.
Like Laura's.
Kind of. Yeah, kind of. I don't like getting too similar to somebody else's. But yes, on that order where there's a nice background. Where
your best bet would probably be to get one of those green screens that people get, and then you can put any kind of background on the back, whichever one fits your vibe for your video or whatever.
On with the what do you mean put anything in the back, like on the?
Like, for example, you see how right now we have this tapestry and everything.
Right.
Behind. If you have a green screen, you could do a fireplace behind us, and it looks like a fireplace, but without us actually being in front of a fireplace.
But how do I make the look like a fireplace?
You would just go on there and change it.
Okay. Yeah, because I
can show you that too.
Well, yeah. See, as you know, I mean, again, I'm not stupid, but I can't really say that I'm not tech savvy either. I just don't have the time.
You don't know the updated technology.
Yeah, I haven't
a little
really,
bit busy, more technical.
Yeah, I really haven't invested in the time to experiment around in it, and I think that's the big thing, because if I experiment around with it, I'll pick up on it. But with us having the two puppies, until we can get them from gnawing and chewing on everything and jumping on us like they're horses, and because they think they're lap dogs and they need all this loving and attention all the time, and worrying about what's going on with the jail and everything that common housewives worry about. And common households, I don't want to get into all the details and everything, but basically you should know. So but I think, okay, so every time I come on, I'll probably have an update on the weather. I will tell you what tonight's topic will be, which of course it'll be always poetry or that line, but what route we're going to go, if we change it up at all, and then try to give you a one-up on what my solo episode will be. Again, I'm hoping maybe I can do one tomorrow. Linda, you in particular, you'll be one of the first to know, because I will end up doing a schedule it and let you know. So, because you're fantastic at doing your thing at promoting, and she knows. I told her that we're going to send her a T-shirt too and we have to set up sometime next week a thing with Paranormal Theory.
Okay.
And that's another thing that I'll cover too. Is everybody knows there was a lot of drama going on with Dark Hollow, myself, and another group. That's all patched up. Everybody got together. Everybody talked like adults. We showed the rest of the paranormal community that if you just talk and be civil to each other, you can work anything out. And that's exactly what the case was. And so, big shout out to Paranormal Theory, Dark Hollow.
It just goes to show that, you can take something that's really gross and ugly and if you talk it out, you can make it work and be friends over it and not have to worry about it being such a big issue anymore.
Now, if we can get the rest of the paranormal community and social media to join in and do away with the ugliness, then that'll be a lot accomplished. It's funny, Linda. I told Tom that you're sending Gabriella Vegemite, and he says, "Is she going to eat that shit?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Our friend Linda is going to send Abby Vegemite, and we're going to taste it live on our Real Talk." And he says, "Oh, geez." He said, "I tried a Vegemite, like, I guess, burger type thing." And he said it was like, I think he said it was like eating dirt or something like that.
I think I've had it before, and it is very
Gritty?
Earthy, very earthy flavor.
Is it like that mocha or matcha or whatever?
No, matcha is more greeny.
Okay.
This is more earthy. It tastes like dirt.
Well, I guess we'll find out, huh? So to begin,
You're right. People do have to want to talk in order to fix situations. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and if you see anything, Abby, that you want to highlight, right now it's Linda and Eric, but if there's a comment, just click on and highlight it.
Oh, real quick before we start, because this is new to us, for guests, are we going to have them on, or are they going to, if they don't want to be on, do you want them to put their poem in the comments and we read their poem?
Yeah, we'll have them. Either way, if they want to come on, we can invite them and we can have them on, and a phone, even Zoom. They don't have to have their picture shown or anything, but they can call on or however, and we can invite. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we'll figure that out, but we do want, I know you're going to make me yawn.
Sorry.
We do want and encourage, excuse me, it's the cola. We do want and encourage a lot of interaction on especially this episode of The Other Side, because of the fact that it is now, if you want us to go a bit further down the line and go beyond prose and poetry and kind of dabble in maybe novellas or short stories or something, we can have somebody pick out a short story that they thought was fantastic, and we can each read a chapter out of it. We can do the whole book if it's a short story or whatever in one day, or we can do a couple episodes, chapter one night, the next week do another chapter, and at the end then have an open group discussion about that novella or short story or whatever. So we have a lot of, and we're accepting any ideas. This is your channel as much as it is my channel. And I know, Abby, I am thrilled that my other daughter decided to join me. So it's a thrill to have Abby joining me now too. So I get to have both of my beautiful daughters.
Yeah, you get to see the two you get to see two kinds of crazy.
Yeah, I'm like the thorn in between the two roses. So it's just So, but I'm proud of all my family. I want to have Eric on some night too. Eric writes. Eric's a hell of a good writer. I don't know if he dabbles in poems, but he's a hell of a good writer. I would like to have him on, maybe giving some of his input or just being on here to join in with adding lines when we do interactive. However, that would be up to how Eric wants to do it. I invite anyone from my family, including our newest member, Dylan. Chase. Does Chase write poetry?
No, but it's funny. So he's probably on here right now. But here's the thing.
Hi, Chase, if you are.
He told me he doesn't write poetry, but I gave him the challenge of writing a poem for me, and he nailed it out of the park. It was so sweet, and it made me cry. I think I do.
Well, she'll have to read Chase's poem then.
I'll have to look for it.
Yeah, look for it. She'll read Chase's poem. So the first poem that I'm going to read now, I don't know how many of you know, I am a published author. I'm not saying I wasn't very successful only because I went through a publisher that was kind of a ripoff. I was told there was class action suit thrown against them. I don't know how far that ever went, but I know they hurried up and switched their name to another thing they switched their name and rebooted. So, but my contract with them ended and everything.
I found
But
it.
I did have a romance book called Memory of Love's Embrace. I had a children's book, The Adventures of Lemon Drop and Jelly Bean. And then before that, way before that, I had my very first poem published in a book called Colors of Life. And it was just a compilation. A lot of poets submitted their poem. They put it in a book and they published the book. You got your copy, and it was, you could buy them or whatever and that. But that was my very, very first poem. And of course, you go on poetry.com or writers.com or anything like that. You can always submit your poetry there.
Yeah,
Free of charge.
mine is allpoetry.com.
All poetry. I've got
An old friend of mine introduced me to it, and I still use it pretty frequently today. Well, I don't really write poetry.
I didn't know it was
as much as I
still
used to.
active.
It is.
Oh,
It's
I
been
didn't know
active
that.
since I've been in school.
Oh, I didn't know it was still
Yeah.
active.
It's still active.
I think I should have a couple poems on there. So, but the very first poem that I wrote is when
You could read your book as you're writing it, Diane.
you're talking about the one that I'm reading or writing about the jail, Linda, because I have the preface written. I could always read the preface that I have right now. I'm going to be getting ready to do the first chapter, which will be the history of Ebensburg, the town that the jail is in, and then it'll go from the history of Ebensburg to how the jail came about and the history of the jail, and then go forth from there to our time in jail. And then I will have people submitting their experiences at the jail, and that'll be kind of how it will end, with everybody submitting their experiences, which of course I'll give them credit for in the book. And if they want to go anonymous, I can put them in anonymous. Of course, when you're writing that, you have the option, they can have their name in there or go anonymous. But yeah, so I'm hoping that I can get that started. It just all involves a lot of research. And again, with the puppies and everything and that, until I can sit down and actually have some really good quality time to get the research done that I need to get done, then I can move even further forward. But yeah, I'd be glad to do that. My actual book that I had published, Memory of Love's Embrace, it's a good story. I had a couple friends, one that a male, he had lost a wife, I think from cancer or something, and I gave him a complimentary copy before I even had it published, and he said it touched him deeply because it's called my porn book, I guess, because there's some very hot and steamy parts in there, but I kept it very well written. I didn't get real like slutty and vulgar and gross about it. I kept it very well in good taste is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, not like 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, I didn't go where it was like ugly and disgusting. I kept it in very good taste, but it's not like all through the book. There's just a couple parts in there where she's reminiscing about how they first met and their first intimate encounter and stuff like that. So, but I don't think you can get that book anywhere anymore, because once my contract ended and that company went down the tubes, they I guess destroyed the printing thing for it, and it was on Amazon for a while. I think Lemon Drop and Jelly Bean.
Do you want to rephrase that statement?
Rephrase what?
No, she said, do you want to rephrase the statement?
Rephrase what, Linda? Did I say something wrong?
Oh, she might mean the P word. Because we said, you guys said yesterday that we can't really say it on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, but that was in a different. I said it once, I think, didn't I? I just always said it once. Yeah, so, but yeah, it's intimacy. Is that better?
You
In-
aren't in jail with your daughters.
intimacy. So, okay, I know we rambled on because almost a half an hour. So, I mean, me and Abby has some good poems. Hopefully, let us know, guys. Anybody that tunes in after this is replayed, again, like and subscribe for our benefit. The shows you appreciate is make comments. Please make comments if you liked what we did tonight. If you liked our poetry. Just submit comments. Just let us know that you care. And
Yeah, hubby, are you here? Don't be lurking.
Hobby, are you here? Hobby, you better be here because she's reading a special poem here pretty soon for you.
2.
Oh,
Possibly 3.
But I'm talking about his poem.
Oh yeah, I'll be reading.
Yeah.
This too.
So okay, with that, we're going to start now. The first poem that I wrote, like I said, this is the one. I'm not real proud of this one. It's okay. So I'm going to be honest with you. I wrote it when Tom and I were first like talking to each other, and I think we both knew at the time that we kind of had feelings for each other, but he was going through a divorce, I was going through a divorce, and just we wasn't sure. We were all messed up in the head. We both had complicated lives, and because of that, it's called confusion, because obviously it kind of caused a lot of confusion for us. So again, this is the one that was in Colors of Life. Not one of my best pieces, but here it goes. Time passes by and I have yet not a clue. You seem so distant. I don't know what to do. I talk to you openly and share all my fears. I have never been more confused in all of my years. I love you dearly. I want to help you out, but talking to you is not the way to go about. You're so tense and even depressed. I want to help you. I'm doing my best. Something's terribly bothering you, and I can do no more. Please stop this confusion. I've been there before. Let me love you and be there for you. It hurts me deeply. I don't know what else to do. Stop this confusion. I've had enough. I know life around us is getting pretty tough. We've helped each other before and we'll do it again. Love finds a way to conquer all. Stop this confusion and break away this wall. I think that's it. Yep, and that was it. So, like I said, it wasn't one of my best, but that was the very first one I wrote, and it was in the middle of, like I said, a lot of feeling confusion for the both of us, mainly for him. But there you go. So that was mine. Abby will go on to hers.
So he's listening, but he doesn't have a Google account apparently right now, and he's listening to it without a Google account. So
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
Okay. So which one do you want to hear first?
Read his first.
His is so sweet.
Yeah, read his. This one now, she'll explain to you.
Okay, so he's not a poet. He says he can't write. He says he's not good at writing or whatever. Well, I told him, I said, I just want to see what you can do. I said, I'll give you all day. I just want to see what you write. And he wrote this to me and it made me smile because I'm like, man, he actually can write. So let's see. So it goes, roses are red, grass is greener. I dream of you, my night is sweeter. Thinking about you night and day, only you can take the pain away. I have no fear to be apart, for you I have in my heart. I hope this finds you in good health, and may we both prosper in wealth. I love you, baby, through and through. My heart will always belong to you.
That is a nice poem.
That's so good.
Yeah, that is good. That's a good poem, Chase. You should pat yourself on the back. Mama thinks you did great.
Yeah, that's a really sweet one.
If we had this up, we could have the cheers. Woo! Way to go, Chase!
Linda puts clap, clap, clap.
He's got some romance in him, that boy.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not a romantic type. I'm not a lovey-dovey type. Sure you are.
Dylan, you know what that means. You're going to have to, come on, catch up to Chase here and write a nice poem for Gabriella and share it on here. Come on, we're waiting. You're going to have to do it. So, Okay, Abby, then since you read Chase's, you're going to read one of yours and you can explain the story about it. And
Oh, Lord, I have 3 of them. You know what? I'll read the one of when I first fell in love with Chase, and it's called My Crush. It goes, I love you so very much, and the way our hands touch. You make me smile, being apart more than a mile. Your voice is my potion, just like the sweet sounds of the ocean. You are my king without a crown, just think we met in such a small town. My parents have given their blessing, I can't wait for our life to continue progressing. For a ring to be placed on my finger and live with you through every winter. Chase, you are the best, I love putting my head against your chest. My first crush, my one true love that no matter what makes me blush.
That's very nice. That's very nice. And I can see she's getting a little teary-eyed. Oh, love is in the air.
Yeah, it's very lovey-dovey.
Love.
It's a very lovey-dovey night for sure.
Like, how many people polled? Probably not that much, but how many people polled? Do you know? Until we get
7 or 8.
But it was pretty much overwhelming, the love poems.
4 was love poems. The rest were 2. One was for a story written poem, and the other one was something silly. So, yeah.
Something silly would be a good one, I think. I think that'd be
I have a lot of them, especially with my animals.
That'd be a fun one. Now, this here, all of this is my book that I'm trying to work on, my poetry book. But I have others that I got to add to it yet, so it's kind of a hot mess here right now. But so my next poem, again, was.
Oh no. Hold on one second, guys. Mom's computer's trying to restart because of an update. Yeah, that works. 4:47 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, that works.
There you go. Won't do that now.
Okay, yeah, it just had an update here. What, the last time we used it yesterday?
Yeah, you just gotta love computers.
My next poem, it's called Our World. And again, it was when Tom and I, we knew we had feelings for each other, but he was still in New York. I was here in PA. Again, things were getting more and more complicated. We were each getting more and more miserable where we were at, and we just didn't know what route to go. At one point, I think we were actually going to not see each other, but it all worked out, and it kind of came intense. But here we go. It's called Our World.
You can't speak like I can either.
Okay, we can't explain it. These feelings that we share. We haven't known each other for very long, but they are real. They are there. We definitely have connected. When our lips touch, it's like a current of electricity shooting through us. High voltage, electric shock. We both feel it. Passion, love, very strong, powerful. No one and nothing exists around us. Our worlds come together. All of our problems, worries, and fears fade away. We are free. We have entered a new world, perhaps a new galaxy. Ready to take us on, we are so into each other, we can't get enough. We want more. We can't stop. Reality. It hits us hard, like a slap in the face. We can feel the pain of it in our cheeks. A world holding our cards in its hands. Petrified, we wonder what hand will be dealt to us today. Hoping and praying breathlessly it'll be a good one. Time. Our few short hours together each time we meet seems like minutes. We need more time. We long to be with each other for eternity. We don't want to say goodbye. We hold each other and kiss each other once more. Tighter and harder, trying to make it last. Savoring every sound. Patience. We both need it. It's getting harder and harder for us to find. We are both beginning to hate the word love. Our world is full of it. It gives us hope. Our love will unite us. It will take us to our galaxy. Only this time, It will guide us to a real one, a galaxy that we will not have to hide, one that the whole world will watch us experience. Everyone will see our feelings for each other. We have nothing to hide, nothing to hold back. It'll be just you and I once again, forever. And that's it.
That's cute. That's really cute.
So there you go. That's that one.
So were you and Dad like long distance?
Yeah. Yep. We were
Yeah,
another.
long distance is not fun.
Yep. He being in New York, I being PA, both in shitty marriages, and we kind of started off as friends. We just kind of just somebody to talk to
Mhm.
and share things with, and that, and it obviously developed into more. So, but there you go. You are all talented. Thank you, Linda. We appreciate that. Miss Abby, your turn.
Since we're talking about long distance, I might as well read the one that says goodbye. So this was basically, me and Chase's relationship is kind of complicated because we met in school, but I had to move, and then we broke up when I was in South Carolina the first time, and then we got back together in Pennsylvania, and then I stayed with him when I moved back to South Carolina, and I stayed with him back to Pennsylvania again. So it was a long journey, but this had to do when we were apart again. But he'd visit me in South Carolina a lot. So it is called Goodbye. Time to say goodbye to you once again. I wish here beside me would be where you remain. The feeling of being in your arms and the feeling of the shirt you wore. I can't wait till goodbye will be nevermore. As you sing our song in my ear as we did. Oh yeah, by the way, this was also the night that we had prom before I moved away, because we had prom and then I had moved. So as you sing our song in my ear as we dance the night, not thinking that soon would be your flight. My hand belongs to you. Our love is so true. I loved every second of your patience, so let me end this sentence. A flood of tears throughout night and day until the day you come back, I will pray.
And that's hard. And
it was hard.
I think that's when you write your best poetry, is when you're going through something. I remember that too, because it's hard. It's hard enough when you know what you've been through, but when you watch your children go through that same type of pain and like having to say bye. I had to live that a lot when Tom was on the road all the time. So it wasn't that he was, not ever going to come back, but there was a couple of times when he was gone for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, almost a month. And how it affected me was bad enough, but seeing how it affected kids. And then when they became young ladies and started having a significant other and seeing what they had to go through and how it affected them when they had to say goodbye.
Oh yeah, goodbyes were the hardest.
It was hard.
And it's sad because, so when I was in South Carolina, he visited a lot. Well, he didn't visit a lot, but he visited like once a month as he possibly could.
Yeah.
And the first goodbye was bad, but then every single time he came again, it started getting worse and worse and worse. And it was at the point where we're like, I don't want you to leave. Please don't leave. But he had to come back to his house. So
it all worked out.
It did.
It all worked out. They were kind of having a hard time saying goodbye. It was getting harder and harder. Chase wasn't sure what he wanted to do because he wanted to be with her, but he liked Pennsylvania. He wasn't sure about South Carolina. I think at that point we were still having our ups and downs about still being in South Carolina, but we didn't know what direction we wanted to go yet. So it was hard for her being in South Carolina and being up Pennsylvania. I think she would have liked to have gone up to Pennsylvania with him, but she didn't want to say goodbye to her family. So we ended up saying, Chase, we can get you a job down here if you want. You're welcome to come down. You can stay. We trusted him.
I think it was at the time too when he was at the age where he's like, I really do want to move out of my house. And so he wanted to move out anyways, but he didn't want to move that far until he realized that it was getting too hard for us to be apart. And so he was like, I really got to make a sacrifice here. And
that's what it's all about, sacrifice. Your dad was in New York. He moved down to Pennsylvania. We stayed in Pennsylvania for, I think it was 18 years before we moved to South Carolina. And then we moved back up here for that 1 year. We were going to stay at that time, but we were renting out our house down in South Carolina to a young couple, and they were having drug parties and drinking down there. The house literally got raided by the police, and young girls was coming out, and they said there was bags in their hand like coke or whatever, or marijuana, I don't know. But one of my neighbors from down there called up and said, Diane, you guys need to know this. The cops are surrounding your house down there. So we ended up going down, checking out. They had done some damage to the house and to the garage outside. It left a lot of garbage. We more or less had to evict them, which made them even more unhappy. And so we didn't have the house taken from us. We decided, okay, we can't afford to lose that house down there because we were renting up here. So we went down, we decided to move back down to save our house. And then we were down there for a couple more years, and we knew that we didn't belong down there. So we're like, okay. Tom actually shocked me. He looked at me and he says, "Hon, I want to move back to PA."
I think it was not just the fact of us wanting to move back, but a lot of bad things happened there, and it just started progressively getting worse. So it was one of those things that, when you're at a place and you say that you feel like there's a gray cloud above you and that nothing's going right because of that gray cloud. That's one of the situations where we felt like that gray cloud was never going to go away.
We were always like those damn Yankees.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they say once you live down there for like 5 or 7 years, you're considered I think they said implant. I think that's how they call it. And they literally are supposed to accept you as a resident. But yet every time something kind of didn't go their way, like the kids got chastised if they didn't say yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am, or yes, sir, no, sir. Like, as long as you answer yes or no, I don't understand I understand that it's more respectful, but it's not like, if the kid's just sitting there like, and not trying to even answer at all, at least, if they ask you a question, yes, no, but they took that as an insult, and it was, oh, that's right, that's how you damn Yankees are out there, so.
Don't get me wrong, though. South Carolina, I met some great people.
There was good things. There was good people down there, but there was also a lot of bad people, a lot of bad things. As far as the state itself, it's beautiful. But
the people are ugly.
The roads aren't good, though. They got some of the worst roads I've ever seen. We thought Pennsylvania roads was bad. No. Let me check this real quick.
The people are ugly, though, too.
Phone is beeping.
When you're in a state where there's more ugly than beautiful, it makes it very hard to stay there. But like I said, unfortunately, even though, because we did end up graduating there, we do have some friends that did stay for all as long. I mean, my best friend, she just got married. I'm so happy for her.
My one boss that was down there absolutely loved the lady. She's the very first person that looked at me and said, Diane, with your experience in retail, I want you to be one of my managers. And I said, I don't have managerial experience. She says, you have over 13 years of retail experience. You're going to be a manager. And I said, I don't know. She says, I have confidence in you. So she gave me that confidence. I applied. I became one of her assistant managers. And within a year or two, I became her right-hand person down there. And then I ended up taking over her spot down there eventually. I love her to death. Her name's Gigi Armani. She's probably the best boss I've had in my life. Well, I can't say my life because Toys R Us, my bosses at Toys R Us was pretty damn awesome. That I had the best crew ever at Toys R Us in Johnstown. So, I miss Toys R Us. Oh my goodness, I love that place. It was like we were family. But anyhow, Gigi's the one that first gave me my opportunity to show that, hey, if you give me the opportunity, I'll show you that I can do it. So with that, let's go on to my next poem. Again, when Tom and I actually got together, we always kind of joked about going to like either a remote island and on the island there would be this beach and there'd be this nice waterfall, and behind you could walk behind the waterfall, and there'd be like this little spot where you can go and cuddle up and watch the behind of the waterfall, and just peaceful and serene. And so with that in mind, I got the image in my head, and when I wrote my book Memory of Love's Embrace, I actually wrote a poem under that same name, and it actually is in my book, and it's pertaining to a scene where Nathan and Virginia went and had a very romantic moment. So it's called Memory of Love's Embrace. It goes, the bright moon's illumination enveloped the dark sky. A crisp, cool breeze gently brushed all over our bodies. The smell of salty seawater permeated the air around us. Grains of moist, soft sand cushioned us like nature's pillow. Sounds of silence played like a symphony in our ears. Love's harp played romantically in our hearts. Just you and me intertwined in each other's arms. We were like two deserted souls far away from the ambiance of civilization. Can we stay like this forever in this utopia world we found? Morning's light will slap us back into the clasp of reality. We must enjoy this picturesque fantasy now and etch it in our memory. For the warmth of the daylight will surround us, and the real world will once again trespass. And all that will be left will be memory of love's embrace.
I love that name too. Memories of Love's Embrace is beautiful.
So that's that one.
Hope our comments aren't glitched.
Yeah, they're not moving or anything at all, are they?
No.
So, but and you know, look, it says that there's like 4 on. It's not a big, but a lot of people don't know about us yet.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, Linda, that's where you'll come in handy.
Spread
I know,
word.
yeah, she will. She is.
Which,
you know,
speaking of, is she and Eric a moderator?
Yes. Oh no, not mine. Kiwi and Eric make them moderators. If B Squared comes on, make also
Okay,
B
I
Squared.
don't know if I can do it through here. Let me see. No, I can't. I have to do it through the YouTube. Yeah, I'll have to do it through the YouTube.
Okay.
Well, you'll have to do it through your YouTube. I'll show you how.
I thought you had to do it when it was live.
No.
Oh.
Do me a favor, both of you. When this is done, go into the live's comments and put a comment below in the comment section, not replies, but comments. That way I can see your name and I'll mod you on here. I just have to do it after.
Well, we know right now, and I think Michael, too, when he comes on, he was a moderator on Lurking Spirits. So we know Linda.
Yeah,
absolutely,
I just have to see their name in order to do it.
Linda and Eric, B Squared, and I believe Michael. I don't know if we had any other moderators or not. I can't remember. Oh, and Douglas.
And Douglas, yeah.
So
we can't forget about
we
Douglas.
want the same ones. Now, I don't know how many of them is going to tune into my show. I don't even know how many people actually know that I went solo, which doesn't mean Gabrielle and I will still definitely have our Real Talk.
You might have to advertise it on Real Talk.
Yeah, I've
when
been.
You guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been. Matter of fact, Linda, Real Talk, maybe I'm trying to talk Gabriella maybe tomorrow night. I don't think she'll want to go on tonight.
She's going to be like, yay.
But our topic will be pixies and fairies. So I'm going to have Gabriella do some good research, and maybe she'll have a good little story about pixies and fairies for you. You know, she comes up with those conspiracy.
Yeah, them
theories.
doing the nasty or something
yeah,
like that.
Maybe they did the nasty in their Pixari or something. I don't
Their
know.
little pixie
like
hut.
their little pixie babies and fairy babies, like little pixie babies with fairy feet and little fairy babies with pixie feet, and some with wings, some not. I don't know. Gabrielle, I'm sure, will come up with some interesting.
Oh yeah, I still, my favorite is the Sasquatch thing.
I like the Sasquatch. I cracked up over the Wendigo, and be honest with you, the dark-eyed children.
A nice description of what the channel is about.
I liked her dark-eyed children one too. You know, with the claw feet. And,
Oh yeah,
like,
the talons.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
The prosthetic claws.
I watched that. I was dying laughing. I had soda that night, and I had soda coming out of my nose.
I think that was one of them where she actually had me laughing so hard I thought I was going to puke. So I don't know. This would have been a good one here.
Well, I have one more.
This one here is going to be good if we do one on body shaming and self-esteem.
I have a lot of those.
Like so,
so my poems like that were when I was with my ex, because I don't know why, but you always write better when you're in the most terrible state of mind. And I wrote these ones because my ex was causing me issues and I was in class. And so I ended up writing them, and he made me feel like a terrible person. But then I met Chase, but she's still in here somewhere. And then I met Chase.
And you fell in love.
No, you have to do it after the live. It only shows as a comment right now, but when the live's done, it will show as a reply, and I'll be able to go in there and fix it, which I'll do that after the live. Oh no, what will Gabby come up with? Terror.
Yeah. I think you probably should be a little bit afraid and kind of like I should have had her pop in here tonight and she could have kind of given you maybe a little hint of what she may possibly say involving the pixies and the fairies. And
all right, I have one more. This one was the day before me and Chase got married. I wrote this one. I lied. It wasn't the day before me and Chase got married. I wrote this January 24th. Me and Chase got married May 5th. So it was a little bit before then. But it's called I Do. It says, I will gladly walk down the aisle knowing you are there, smiling up at this moment we share. You will be dressed up real nice. You sure will make me look twice. I spent so much time wondering when love would be real. I am terrified that I was dealt the wrong card deal. You are my heart. It's always been you from the start. You swept me off my feet. You never even missed a beat. From the moment I met you, I knew that no matter what we went through, that our love has always been true. For that, my love, I will always say I do.
I can see the emotional.
Oh yeah, that one made me cry.
Little squirt and some maybe. Yeah. Little squirty.
Let me show you this real quick.
It's funny, Abby, if you can find one more, because we still got a little bit of time. I found one called Distance when your dad was.
I don't have any more loved ones, but I can do a funny one.
I'm trying to think. There's that. We have we're gonna try to set each Thursday like a, what can I say? What word am I looking for? Like a theme.
Yeah.
When it comes to them, but there'll be times that we'll throw it around. But anybody, Nancy, if you're watching at all, ever, if you watch any of our videos, since you're the oldest sister in the group, my oldest daughter, you're a good poet too. You write good poetry. If you ever wanted to come on, submit.
I think it's in our DNA.
You know damn well you're welcome. You're my firstborn. I would love to hear your poetry. The same as Eric knows that I'd love to hear his.
He said he doesn't write poetry, but he writes novels.
Well, he's a good writer. I mean, he could even still contribute. I'm sure that he could come up with something.
Oh yeah.
Or just sit and shoot the bull while I'm talking, because my mouth. But my next one too is this will be the last one. Will be about summing it up, and until I think it's turning out pretty darn good for our first one.
Right here.
Tom, when we first met, he was a motor coach driver. He drove those big motor coach buses. He has.
Oh wait, I have a distance.
He has government clearances, and that he actually was in part of the Obama's inauguration poll. He got clearances to be part of that. He was the motor coach driver in there. He actually had Aretha Franklin. Was it Aretha Franklin? It was Aretha Franklin, right, Eric?
I believe so.
On
yeah.
his bus, and he didn't even realize it until after he dropped them off. But he had Michelle and her mother on the bus. Very, very, yeah, he has all these clearances and credentials. But anyhow, when he traveled all the time, each time he went away, it became harder and harder on me, especially when the kids started coming. And one of the very first times after Gabriella was born was when he was gone on one of his trips for a month. And when he came back, Gabriella didn't even recognize her dad. She didn't know who he was. And she was like actually a little bit afraid of him until she realized, hey, this is daddy. And of course, both of the girls have been daddy's little princesses ever since. But this poem here was written during that time. It's called Distance. Your distance away from me makes my heart feel like it is split in two. I keep trying to keep my mind occupied to prevent me from thinking of you. Tears flow down my cheeks as your absence from my side is getting incredibly rough. With each day that passes and each hour that ticks away, my mind is made up. I've had enough. Answers are unsure. I can't take anymore. At the end of this dark tunnel, there must be a light. Time is slipping away. Something must finally go right. My heart needs mending from the emptiness that is inside of me. Please provide us with a solution so we can once again be a happy family. The answer we long for is finally here. In a few short weeks, we will soon have you near. Feelings, loneliness, the emptiness I feel inside. Is that? Oh no, okay, that was it. I don't know where this come from. Feeling lonely. Yeah, that was the end of it. The answer we long for is finally here. In a few short weeks, I will finally have you near. So that must be a little short one.
Weird.
Yeah. I don't know what, do I have that one actually down on here, or is that?
Is
That
this part
looks
of,
like- that
is
was-
that part of this?
No, because this is a compilation. That
Okay.
one looks like it printed off for some reason. It was the end part of, yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know where that,
Interesting.
yeah, that's kind of
I
weird.
have some random poems too
Yeah.
online. Weird.
I don't know. I have to check that out where that came from. So this is a compilation of feelings that I felt for each. Yeah, no, because that has nothing even to do with this. So, but that was the end of mine for tonight. As you see, like I said, I'll show you again. This is I have a lot more this is just the ones that I actually printed off that
Here's a stack full of
that
them.
I submitted to a publishing company, and I told them that I would have more to go along with it. And until I get more to add to it, I didn't want to go through with anything yet. But that's the beginning of my poetry book that I'm hoping to have published with some of my other works, and hopefully with a good publishing company this time.
I was told I should make a poetry book,
You
but
should.
yeah, but the problem is mine are all scattered around, and most of them are things that I don't want to share because they're about my ex, and gross.
So you have another one?
Yeah, this one's about distance as well. This one was when we very first started doing distance. So it's called 678.8. 678.8 miles away. Why so far? Why did I have to hug you and let you go? But soon that 678.8 miles will be 90, then 0. Because soon I will see your chocolate brown eyes, your fantastic smile. Your nerdy self, we text. It's pretty sad when I smile just seeing your name pop up. A video chat with my fingerprints on my laptop. I will be back soon. Tears run down his face and mine as we have to say goodbye until we meet again.
Very good.
That was a hard one too.
See, Abby's a good writer. That's why I looked at her the other day and I said, Gabrielle and I have real talk because I was picking on Gabrielle and Abby. Let me rewind. And I every now and then a certain thing that they'll do, I'll look at one and say, and that's why you're my favorite daughter. And Abby said something and Gabriella said something, and Gabriella didn't say, I can't remember the whole incident, but I said, looked at Gabrielle and I said, that's why Abby's my
I was
favorite.
picking on her because I was saying that I come over here all
Oh,
the
that's
time,
what it was.
and she doesn't.
That's what it was. Abby comes over like every day, especially Monday through Friday, from probably 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and she stays until Chase comes home from work. So she keeps me company along with Eric.
Yeah, it's usually my time to have coffee with her and talk about things, and with my brother.
And we
talk about
watch
things.
some YouTube videos. One of my new favorite ones is Casper Site. He does reviews of paranormal, spooky clips and everything, and he is just funnier than hell.
Oh, yeah.
He is hilarious. But she'll watch those. Well, Gabriella, you shadow bastards. So Gabriella come over and she said, "Oh, well, hello there." And Abby said to her, like, so at least she said, "Aren't you going to stay or something like that?" And Gabriella said, "Well, I'll be back or something." And Abby said, "I come over and stay this long." And I looked at her and I said, "Well, that's why Abby's my favorite daughter." And Gabriella went,
yeah, because she only stayed for like 30 minutes, and she's like, "I gotta go now." And I'm like, "You're not gonna stay for like an hour? I stay here for almost 3 hours."
And then one time, I think Gabriella got me something special or something, and Abby was here, and she said, "Here, Mom, I got this for you." And I said, "Oh," and I looked over at Abby, and I said, "And that's why Gabriella is my favorite daughter." So I pick on him like that, and it's good. You know, we have a great family. I love my girls so much. I love my boys so much. We have all such a good rapport.
Yeah, you basically have 2 more sons now.
Yeah, and we all know how to pick on each other.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we know how to say the right thing. We all have. I wish I could just videotape some of our reactions sometime. The looks on our faces when some of that stuff come out, like surprisingly like that, and it's just, it all blends together. It makes life more enjoyable. And I'm glad my children, now that every one of them is adults, that they decided they still wanted to stay close by.
Oh, yeah, we pick on each other all the time.
Even
all the time.
Now I pick on Dylan since he's with Gabriella. He wanted to be close by too, and it's really nice having another new addition. All of my son-in-laws are fantastic. I can't complain about any of them. Nancy, of course, she lives in Indiana. Her husband is amazing. He actually officiated. He officiated for Abby and Chase for their wedding, and beautiful service. He was awesome.
Oh, yeah. If it wasn't for him, I don't know who else we'd get.
Me.
That was before. Okay, that was before.
No, I was already ordained before.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I already asked him.
That's funny. I'm an ordained minister. Who would have thought it, huh? But it's just it's nice that the families that's that close and nice. Nancy invites me over to her house to visit with her and Sam and get to see the grandchildren. The grandchildren just adore me. I absolutely love them. I'm trying to stay healthy and strong for when my other grandchildren decide to come, which Abby and Chase are very adult, very smart. I know they would love to have kids, but they also know with the state of things right now, this is not a good time to be bringing a child into the world. It will happen.
Plus, we want to experience being married. Go on a honeymoon, go on vacations together and stuff.
No, you guys are playing it smart. I'm just hoping. I'm not getting any younger. I'm trying to stay, my mind sharp and everything as much as I can, so that when that time does come, that I can enjoy them for some time. I'm not planning on croaking anytime here soon.
Better not.
So
we'll dig you from the grave.
Say, hey, wake up! Look, this is your grandchild. Okay, let me hold that baby. But anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Linda, Eric, you guys, you're faithful. Like, I don't think you guys missed a show ever. You will be made mods. Just keep on passing the word. If anybody catches this on replay, at least I hope they watch it on replay. I want to get the subscribers and the likes are good. That's great and all, but I want to get the subscribers up. So more and more people are aware of it and that I can have them join in. I do want to have guests on the show. Not sure who the lineup will be yet. I'm trying to keep in mind. I mentioned before that I'd like to have some of my faithful buddies, part of the coven, as we call it. I like to have them on. But I'm hoping that this Thursday with me and Abby, that it goes well. This one, I think we had a nice evening, didn't we?
Mhm.
It's nice being with my girl. It's nice being and actually hearing Abby talking, participating, reading her lovely poems, and
Yeah, I'm kind of. It's weird. Me and Gabra kind of switched spots
yeah.
because she used to be the quiet one, and I used to be the talkative one, and we kind of switched.
But it's weird because Gabriella doesn't really say much on here, but when she does open up, when she gets into something like
Sasquatch.
her theories, like she really opens up, and that's what I want. That's why I told her. I said when we do the pixie and fairy thing, I want her to do the research. She's going to be the main talker, and I'll voice my piece.
I can't wait to hear her talk.
I'll look into it a little bit, but I want her like this. This will be kind of be. I want it to kind of be like her show for once. I think people are getting tired of hearing me, and now that I have my own show, they're hearing me all the time. So it's the same as you. Anytime you come on, if you can run the show, I'll just say what the current weather is and do the intro. And if there's something that you want to talk about other than poetry, even though it's poetry, if you want to go into something about a book, or maybe you have a favorite book of poetry.
I have a favorite book of poetry that I could actually talk about real quick. It's called The Rose That Grew Out of Concrete. I think that's what it's called. And it's by a rapper is the one who wrote the book, but I'll tell you what, that's some beautiful poetry.
Well, then what Abby can do is
I don't have that book.
Maybe next Thursday, the lineup will be unless we'll see what comments we get, if any. I'm hoping, dear God, please let people comment and show us some appreciation and let you like us. Let Abby bring over the poetry book, and Abby can.
I don't have that book, Mother.
Oh, I thought you had it. Oh,
it was the first book that I read in school, but I don't have.
Can you pull it up on? No, we'll find a poetry book, and we can. Well,
we can do that. I mean, we can get a poetry book and read different parts out of it.
I should have something somewhere. I don't know, because I had a pretty good collection of poetry books at one time.
I will show you the book though.
I might have it down in that cabinet there.
I think it's called The Rose That Grew Out of Concrete. It's from Tupac. Tupac
Shakur.
He wrote this book, and I read it in school, and I was like, man, that's a really good book.
I heard that he was a good writer, but
he really is. Let's see.
So you can pull some of it up.
Oh, he has it on.
See?
I don't know if these are from his book, though.
So she can do some research on that, and maybe next week, our show on Thursday, unless we get, like I said, comments that goes in another direction, I'll do my intro. I'll let Abby pull out the book. She can pull out select poems. We can talk about how we feel about that poem and go in that direction. And depending how many people decide to show up or whatever, then we can go in the direction that our fans want us to go.
It's an expensive book, man. They paid $14 for that book.
Usually they're cheaper on Amazon.
Yeah.
They're usually a little bit lower price. I was a cheapskate. When I put mine on Amazon, I didn't want to charge people an arm and a leg, so I set my price at
it's on Kindle.
Like $2.99.
$0.
Oh, there you go. Get it on Kindle.
Yeah, so like $0.
Do you have Kindle on your phone?
I think I do.
I had Kindle.
But this is a different one. This is one I haven't read yet.
There you go. Get it on Kindle. So I hope you enjoyed tonight. We're at like an hour, 9 minutes. We like trying on this one in particular. We want to try to keep it capped at around that hour because we don't want it to get too drawn out.
Yeah.
And
it's getting late. It's getting
tomorrow's Friday, so Chase does have work. It is still the last day of the week, and she likes going to bed a little early because Chase gets,
especially with this weekend being going to be kind of crazy.
Yeah, so. Abby and Chase has a busy weekend coming up, and we do have some investigations coming up. We have one on the 8th. We have another one for sure on the 1st. I'm trying to set some up for in between there. So to Lurking Spirits fans, we are going to be having some investigations, so tune in for that. I think some of it we may do live, some of it we just might tape. We're not sure yet.
I think what I want us to do, which we'll have to talk about as a team, but do 1 hour of live and still have the video, just so people who are more interested in the video can see the video. People who are more interested in the live can have the live as well.
Do you want to do like some and have like behind the scenes? Because we can actually set up a membership or thing on our channel.
Well, that's what Discord is doing. Discord is for members only.
Because we want to start doing that. We're not trying to solicit money because anybody that knows us, we're not out to ask for money in that. But I hate saying it. We really want to get some really great places to locate. Like some of these other teams, we just can't afford it. We're just a small, family-oriented team, and all of our money goes in. We live paycheck to paycheck, so it's hard for us to come up. I mean, some of them, like, they're over 500, over $1,000 for a party of 5 like us, and that's not a bad price. It's affordable for other people, but for us, a couple $100 is like a stretch for us to come up. So if anybody donates to our Cash App or membership or that money will strictly go towards getting us a really cool place to investigate. And, we can give you more quality stuff because we try to be as professional as we can and give you some good quality stuff. But right now we're going to be recapping some of the places we went before, but we want to get to some of these exciting places. That's our goal. We want to get to, and get up there with some of these others and say, hey, look, we're going to be at the Hinsdale House this week, or we're going to be at Waverly Hills.
Asylum, that'd be
so cool. The Trans-Allegheny Sanitarium, Asylum, whatever it is. We want to go there. We want those places, but that's a bucket list for us. It's a dream for us, but until we can get where we can either save up little bit by little bit and secure them, or we can get help, with our fan base. It's just, I hope you guys have a lot of patience with us. Know that we're going to try. We're going to try our best, but we are going to try to get into Crescent. We want to get over the Doss House. I want to get to the Liberty Theater and Antiglo. 2 of those places, Crescent and Liberty. Angel and Lindsay from Dark Hollow are tied in with those. Q2, is that what it is? Q2? No, Unique Paranormal 1.5. They are the ones from the Doss House. We want to get there and do an investigation there, but we're going to go over and do a tour over there first so we can do a walkthrough. And I guess even when you do the walkthroughs, you're going to hear voices and shit's going to happen. So just keep patient, guys. Know that we love you. Know we're trying the best we can. Even if we come up with something that I think too, we like focusing on. Everybody focuses on the well-known places. We're trying to hit up right now some of the smaller, lesser known haunted places. So in a way, that's kind of better for us because we're giving those places a little bit more notoriety.
Which really sucks because one of the places we wanted to revisit, we can't go anymore because they are completely out of business now. Which really sucks because that was one of the places we got a lot of activity.
We had a lot of disembodied voices. We had a lot of interaction with our spirit box and the REM pod and flashlight, like all all together. They were all like in sync, the response.
Plus, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was the one where Gabriella had something whisper in her,
She had that.
and the camera was having
The
issues.
camera was moving. We couldn't figure it out. Nobody was walking on the floor, and even when they did, it stayed there. But when we were sitting or not even by it, the camera kind of fluctuated some. At one point, one side of the room, all the equipment was going off simultaneously.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
remember
that.
that? Well, at the bar area, Chase was getting he was getting the spirit box, the cat ball, and the flashlight all going off.
Yeah,
at the
and we
same
thought
time.
it might have been electricity reasons, so we double checked with the EMF reader, went around to see if anything was going off, and electricity was not in that area, so there should have not been any reason for that.
So
There
you
was,
know,
so.
we do a walkthrough. Usually, we'll before we start investigation, even if we don't show it on camera, we'll usually take the EMF or something and do a walkthrough to see where it's going to fluctuate at. I know we probably should show, but we shouldn't have to. You know that we do that every time, and if it's going to affect something, we're going to say in our video, hey, we did a walkthrough earlier and we would normally have the EMF here. If it goes off, it's because of this. You know, we'll say that when we're doing our investigation, but regardless, we investigate our way. We take pride in it. We try to be as raw and uncut as we can. Even when we edit, we just edit just boring stuff that, you know, there might be 2 hours and absolutely nothing. So it's just the editing is just to cut that whole thing out.
Yeah, the editing is mostly like, for example, if we're in a room and we're waiting for a flashlight to go off and it doesn't go off for like a whole hour and a half, I'm not going to have you guys watch an hour and a half of just no flashlight turning on.
Nothing.
What I'll do is I'll cut it in half so you guys watch like 30 minutes of the flashlight not turning on, but then turning on to give you like, hey, that, you know, it's not that we're making it turn on. It's still having a ghost turn it on. It's just kind of separating that area so it's not.
And then the other editing is if you put words in, like
for the spirit
disembodied voice or pointing up. Like a lot of people don't believe in orbs. A lot of orbs can be dismissed as dust, bugs, whatever. But when you're getting something that has its own glow and it's going in like one specific direction, and then like just takes off in another direction, or it's kind of like hovering around you and then it just totally disappears. You have to put that.
Or you get the times where you have a video of a piece of equipment and it doesn't go off at all, but then orb or something goes near it, and guess what? It goes off. That's an orb.
Well, here's the thing too, in Gabriella's room again down there in South Carolina. If you look at some of, I hope I can pull up some of that footage sometime, because when we moved and we disconnected our Ring, everything we had saved on our Ring camera went away with our subscription. So they only went back so long and then it was gone. I wish I would have saved it on the computer. But she would walk in her room and we had the video camera in there because there was so much activity going on. She'd walk in and you'd see all these orbs, just like it looked like it was snowing, and there looked like the scene out of freaking Stranger Things. And where they're like, okay, you know, we kind of dismissed it. We debunked it. Like, it's dust. It's dust. But then we started looking at closely, and dust like just usually goes randomly. These freaking orbs would go, like they would come out of where her mirror was, and they would all go all together in one direction. Or they'd come out of one section of her wall and all come towards the mirror in one direction. Or her TV, like they all of them would go in one direction when she was in there. And where they're like, okay, to debunk it, I would go in. I said, okay, you know, we're going to do a test so that if we do happen to show this footage, that we can, you know, prove on air that we're debunking it or whatnot. I'd go in right after she went in, and I'd go in, and there would not be not one particle, not one orb anywhere, not a damn thing. And they're like, I'm looking at the camera, I'm not seeing anything. Nothing. Then we'd go out. I'd go out and I'd say, okay, Gabriella, go back in. Gabriella walks in. Within a minute or so, there's these orbs coming all again. They're either coming out of the mirror, going into the mirror, coming out of her TV, coming out of the wall, but all in the same direction. Like, how do you call
Which
that?
that's kind of why we moved too. Things started getting really
was getting
serious
bad.
in that house. Like Gabrielle started having situations happen where she was wide awake and she heard noises, like creepy noises, like chains rattling and stuff like that. And then there's times where she heard people talking to her continuously at night. It just got to the point where it just was
How
too
about
much.
that Christmas present we made your dad?
Oh, yeah.
Gabriella literally started sleeping on the couch because she was, not afraid, but very uneasy to be in her room because something did touch her in there and something pulled her. We did have that where you could see her cover being pulled.
Mm-hmm.
So she started sleeping on the couch, and it was Christmas. And I made Tom, we disguised one of his gifts, and I made it like a big, tall, almost like robot giraffe. And I had it set in there.
Yeah, the Star Wars thing. What is that Star Wars
like
thing?
Like an at. It was kind of, but I was thinking more of a robotic like giraffe.
Mm.
And I had it sat in there. And Gabriella was sleeping. She's laying on the couch. And first something whispered at her, and she didn't know quite what it said. And it kind of, like, so she woke up and she's looking around. And then she hears like something on the order of like, watch this. And no sooner she heard that, the giraffe thing got knocked over. And she's there like, okay, apparently it wanted her attention. And I think Tom was away at the time because I think that's when he was up here in Pennsylvania trying to get things ready or something, or maybe he was on a trip. I can't remember.
I was just sleeping.
I can't remember.
He came back. Whatever.
I can't remember, but then she says, Mom, she told me about what's going on. And I said, geez. So, but there was stuff like that happening all the time in that house. But going back to the orbs, like, yeah, 90% of them you can dismiss. I kind of didn't believe in orbs before because, and does so, but kind of is erratic. It just goes everywhere. But when they're going all in the same direction, and only when she walked in, you guys walked in, Chase walked in, nothing.
Yeah.
Every time she walked in,
Every
that same
time.
thing. It looked like, you swear to God, it was snow under there. I think I still do have a couple of the video clips of that, but whatever.
Well, I think there's a couple on our Lurking Spirits channel too. It's towards like the very beginning though. I think we have a couple.
I did save the one where we had the camera, her bedroom.
With all the equipment going off at the
Well,
same
that
time.
one, and I have the one, her bedroom looked like hell, looked like a junkyard because we were packing everything in there, and that's when she was going through stuff because we were getting ready to move up here. But I do have the one where we had the camera there, and you can see a shadow running right across the room and right over the bed. I think I still have that.
No, I didn't get scratched there. I got scratched here in Pennsylvania, actually, at a different house.
Yeah.
That's when I got scratched. But no, it wasn't there.
Yeah, I don't think anybody got. We had like stuff being thrown. Like,
we've been touched there.
We were touched, and we had like pots and pans not thrown at us, but thrown on the floor.
And spoons. That
was one, two people don't like the balloon test. We had a balloon, no fans or nothing going, and we watched this balloon go from our living room, and then there's a petition. It literally came down, went under the petition, went back.
And it wasn't even like we had any fans or anything on it. It literally was blowing around by itself.
And then what did it do? It went in the dining room, went right back up the ceiling.
It was like it was going to her room.
It was. It went right to her room, and it hovered right by her door. So we're there. Okay, we'll open up the door. We opened up the door, and that damn balloon
right in.
Come down below the partition, went into her bedroom.
Yeah.
So you can't. I mean, come on. That was some freaking weird, creepy shit.
That place. There's something up with it. Oh, which speaking of, which I know you know about this, but when we were moving out of it, when me and Chase had to go back down to get the remaining stuff out, the last moment that I was in that house, it was like it didn't want me to leave because you heard all the sounds in the world there. You heard walking, you heard talking, you heard doors closing, opening. You heard it all right as me and Chase were walking out. So,
and it's where we should have known something because when we first bought the house, not Gabriella's room, but the room that Abby and Gabriella first shared when we first moved down there, it had a door that led from there to, we used it as a dining room, but when we bought it, it was listed as the office. There was a door that went between, and we had skeleton keys for the whole house, but we had a skeleton key for that door, and we couldn't get it open. We could not get it open no matter what. Well, we finally at one point got it open, and there was duct tape.
Mm-hmm.
There was duct tape on it, and where they're like, why?
Which is weird because it wasn't like the door frame was broken. It just randomly there was a piece of tape there, but the door frame or nothing was broken.
Yeah.
Why the tape was
It
there
was over where the thing was. It was there. Whether why in the hell is the duct tape? So we took the duct tape off. Didn't think anything of it. On time that door, we got it open, but that door would just not open no matter what. Well, there was times we were sitting in the living room watching TV, and next thing you know, we heard click. And we're like, what in the hell is that? And we'd look, and that door would open up on its own. And they're like, wait a minute, we can't get that door open. How did it open? And it would open, and they're like, okay.
That's kind of what made Dad a believer too.
Yeah. And so we'd shut it again, try. We could not get it open again. We'd go during the day, a couple of days later, try. We could not get it open. And then again, on occasion, we'd hear click and it would open. Well, that happened when we were moving up here the first time, and Tom cleaned out the house. Well, he was getting come up to join us, and he said he was sitting there watching TV because he got tired. He was shampooing rugs and everything down there for before he moved out. And he said he hears click. And he said he looks over and there's that door opening up on its own. So, it's going to be interesting whoever bought that house if they're experiencing.
Well, especially since he did all that remodeling.
He did all kinds of remodeling, and they said when you do remodeling, it jacks up the. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know, but that's not our problem now. It was a nice house when we were there. We have good memories in there, but we have a lot of very eerie memories in that house too.
Also with the plants dying and animals dying, it was weird how everything, like anything living, was having a hard time.
We had 3 cats that died in that house in the exact same spot. Our dog King that we had, now mind you, he was 14 years old, but he was in still pretty good health. But when he had a pretty bad grand seizure, and it was like his last day.
That was where that water spot was.
It was
right
in that same spot where he had it. And we had guinea pigs that died down. We just
everything just
nothing lived. Nothing lived. So, but anyhow, with that being said, we're rambling.
Yeah, it's
on.
like almost.
Yeah, we can save this for another show. But I'm hoping you guys all enjoyed this a lot.
I miss them too, Eric.
Yeah, I do.
A lot of them.
Yeah, I miss King.
I miss King. I miss Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie was a good.
Peanut.
If you, Linda, if you like Pee Wee a lot, which we know you do, you would have absolutely loved King Edward. He was just, Prince Edward.
Yeah,
he
was Pee Wee's dad.
Yeah. And King, our dog, you would have loved him too. He was the best dog.
So beautiful.
Yeah, he was. He got free stuff everywhere we took him because he had these big, bright, baby blue eyes, and he was a black lab. So
lab husky.
He was just beautiful,
gorgeous dog.
But with that being said, we hope you had a good evening. You come back again next Thursday, and we'll have another round of poetry, another round of chit chat. With that being said,
and real quickly before we go off, next week it's not going to be themed. We're just going to kind of do random ones. But the week after, I'll do another poll and see what people would like to listen, and we'll do it that way. We'll do it every other Thursday where there's a poll to see what people want.
And keep an eye on Lurking Spirits because we will be inviting Paranormal Theory on. We probably touch base on some of the stuff that happened. With their plans for the future, our plans, it's nice that we can actually invite them on the show under really, really good terms. That shows how Parent Unity works. Mm-hmm. But we'll update as we can what we're planning on doing. Keep your eyes out. Hopefully me and Gabriella, it's 9:30 now. I don't think she's going to want to do anything tonight. That's up to her. But probably tomorrow night. But again, with that being said, thank you so much for joining us on the other side. And until then,
we'll see you guys.
Bye. What's that? How do you do that? This way. There you go.